Good afternoon and welcome to TNTV News. I am Atat Charles. Now to the news in details. Acting President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Yemi Osibanjo, has asked the Senate to approve $1.5 billion loan. The loan is part of the 2016 to 2018 external borrowing plan of the federal government and is meant for projects in 10 states. Meanwhile, the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered the final forfeiture of the sum of $43 million, 27,800 euros, and 23 million naira recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission from an apartment in the Ikoyi area of Lagos State. The court, in a ruling by Justice Muslim Hassan, ordered that the funds be permanently forfeited to the federal government. Now, the cleaning of the Ogoni land, restoration of Lake Chad, and the need to strengthen efforts on climate change took center stage as Nigeria joined the rest of the world to mark the 2017 Environmental Day. The report.
The United Nations Environment Programme UNEP report of 2015 shows that Nigeria records over 600 oil spill on yearly basis, 0.6 kilometers of land lost to desertification each year, while over 70% of forest disappeared due to logging and bush burning. These statistics are quite frightening, so the federal government of Nigeria in 2015 came up with measures to mitigate the rising tide with the cleaning up of the Ogoni land, the restoration of the Lake Chad, engaging international bodies on climate change issues, and strengthening agencies under the Ministry of Environment to check proper waste management and encourage neighborhood cleanups. This gathering of environment experts from within and outside Nigeria to commemorate the 2017 World Environment Day is therefore more of commendations for the federal government of Nigeria on the efforts made so far, but pleaded for sustenance.
And we are also currently working with the ministry in the development of the third national communication to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. This will assist in controlling emissions.
We have introduced a bill on climate change. It's important to place on record here that the bill has passed second reading.
The federal government, on its part, promised stronger partnership with the states to implement some of its programs, such as the National Mosquito Control Program, recruitment of more environmental sanitation officers, implementation of the Extended Producer Responsibility Program, and suspension on the export of wood.
Our ministry is in position to fit for purpose and dedicated to deliver on addressing socio-economic and environmental issues and concerns of poverty, food security, environmental health and sanitation, renewable energy, green economy, sustainable consumption and production, climate change, oceans and ecosystem restoration in the Nile Delta, as well as Lake Chad Basin and the Hadejaburu wetlands in the northeast.
And on the cleaning up of the Ogoni land,
as recommended in the report, we want to start providing water in the areas impacted. We have also gone ahead now to interact with the artisanal refiners, and we have an understanding that they need to stop artisanal refining for this project to proceed.
Still on the 2017 World Environment Day, on 3rd of June 2017, the Minister of State for Environment led others on a road walk from the Julius Berger area of the Federal Capital Territory down to the Wuse Market, where they sensitized members of the public.
Meanwhile, still on Environmental Day, Nigerian environmentalists have advocated that while Nigeria joined its rest of its counterparts to mark this year's World Environmental Day, they went through a walk around the commercial city of Lagos with a green walk as to encourage authorities and business people to do more to protect the planet. The report.
Marching for the environment. The marchers here are mainly children. Organizers say it's by design. They say children are mainly at the receiving end of the effects of climate change, and that there could be no better voice for the campaign for a greener environment than that of children. The children marched through the busy streets of Lagos, carrying placards and calling for more action to protect the city from environmental hazards.
The challenge Lagos has is just managing the pollution that comes from a very large population. A large population is going to be consuming tremendous amounts of energy, tremendous amounts of resources, and also giving a massive amount of waste. So that's a huge, huge challenge. And then a future challenge that's looming is the fact that Lagos is very much a waterborne state. It's got riverine, it's got lagoons, lakes, the ocean on one side, and water is rising. There's a lot of problem with that. It needs to be addressed very, very aggressively. So far, so good.
If there's one Nigerian city that is running an aggressive campaign of going green, it's Lagos. Authorities here are running an ambitious campaign to plant 10 million trees by 2020. They have so far planted over 6 million. Green parks and gardens have sprung up in places that once served as refuse dumps. Trees now line up the shoulders of some major roads in the city. More and more people are keying into the tree planting campaign. But environmental campaigners say more still needs to be done.
Look, every man in his lifetime requires at least 80 trees just for his own oxygenation. So the implication is that everybody in Lagos should have at least 80 trees that they have planted. And that doesn't include the oxygen that you require or the carbon dioxide that you burn off with your energy and all this. So we need to keep planting trees, and more trees. This is the God-given solution, and we can't be wiser than God.
Authorities of Lagos are running against time to meet their target of 10 million trees by 2020. But the good news for the city is that even if it does not meet that target, which is very likely, it has succeeded in creating a public consciousness on going green, as more and more private gardens now dot various corners of the city. And horticulture.
Now, the National Universities Commission has provided a list of all illegal universities operating in Nigeria. NOC warned parents, guardians, and students to be aware of the universities it listed who are awarding illegal degrees to unsuspecting students. Further, this goes a long way to say that graduates of these illegal universities will not be serving at the National Youth Service School scheme. Meanwhile, 2 years into the enactment and use of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, only 6 states have so far enacted their own similar act. Due to this low level of adoption of more states, what could be the possible problem? This report gives us insight.
Lagos, Anambra, Ekiti, Cross River, Kaduna and Akwa Ibom are the only states that have enacted their own Administration of Criminal Justice Act. 3 other states have had it passed by their houses of assembly, awaiting governor's assent. The National Sensitization Workshop, organized by the Federal Ministry of Justice in Uyo, was therefore meant to make states see the advantage of enacting their own Administration of Criminal Justice Act.
We would equally engender the evolution of a truly restorative justice principle.
Solicitor General of the Federation called for a joint approach to the nation's justice administration.
If you look at the proportion, that's not good enough, and that is even why this sensitization workshop is needed.
Resource persons spoke about how the states can adopt the various elements of the Act to meet their peculiar needs.
Our overall and priority objective is to see that all the states enact all aspects of this law, of course adjusting them to fit their circumstances,
so that people will be aware of their roles. In fact, there are specific rules even for members of the public who are witnesses, who are potential litigants. You know, all of this requires sensitization.
Lagos.
Meanwhile, on international scene, Qatar has expressed surprise over the unjustified decision, according to the foreign minister, by the Saudi Arabia, Egypt, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Yemen and Maldives to suspend relations with Doha, saying that the decision was in violation of its sovereign sovereignty. Well, and that news wraps up our news at 4. Thanks for joining. You can watch us on your Facebook at The Neighborhood Newspaper, or you can also watch us on Facebook at The Neighborhood Live. You can also watch us on YouTube, the news and other broadcasts with The Neighborhood TV. You can also download our app at The Nativities Communication on your Google Play Store. And you can also watch us on your Android or iOS device with the following URL: www.tntvonline.com. Thanks for watching. I am Atta Charles, and enjoy the rest of your day.